I'm looking forward to this because I know there's some really exciting ones in here, like the lamia and the lich, that kind of thing. So I am looking forward to taking a look at those. Now the section after this one, the M's, is extensive. There is a lot of them. I think it's probably going to end up being a 3-part series. So before we move on to the M's after this video, I will be shoving something else in there, just to break it up a little before we delve into a longer sort of mini Monster Manual series. You might have noticed I am trying to break up some of the Monster Manual videos, so I'm trying to do them in sections. So the K's and the L's in this section, then I'm going to be doing a slightly different video, and then I'll be jumping back in with the M's, which, like I said, will be a longer series, and then I'll be doing something else after that before jumping into the N's, etc, etc. So without further ado, let's head on in and take a look at some of these today. So the first for today is the lamia. We have a number of them here, attacking what looks to be a caravan. Like how they have the individualism of each one while still looking quite uniform. We obviously have the difference in faces and hair, but with the general colouring being the same. And then we have the scarves and the belts here, but very different designs on the top here, but all with that glowing magic. Like on this one you can see there are scars here from previous encounters. Lamia, a cursed bargainer and a ruin raider. Habitat, desert. Legends say the first Lamia was an ambitious ruler who made a sinister bargain with the demon lord Grasp for everlasting majesty. As a consequence, the ruler was transformed into a lamia, a monster with the body of a lion and an accursed touch. Lamias either are descendants of that first lamia or have made similar deals. They often dwell near ruins, seeking mysterious magic they can use to gain riches and influence. Lamias use magical illusions and enchantments to trick others into serving them. They sometimes work with bandits to abduct travellers, releasing captives only if they accept a dangerous bargain. Roll on or choose a result from the Lamia Pact's table to inspire a Lamia's desires. Lamia Pacts. The Lamia compels the bargainer to 1. Bring it a possession from a ruler or noble. 2. Create multi-attack. The lamia makes 2 claw attacks. It can replace 1 attack with a use of corrupting touch. Claw, melee attack roll +5, reach 5 feet, hit 7, slashing damage +7, psychic damage. Corrupting touch, wisdom saving throw DC 13. 1 creature the lamia can see within 5 feet. Failure, 13 psychic damage, and the target is cursed for 1 hour. Until the curse ends, the target has the charmed and poisoned conditions. Spellcasting. The lamia casts one of the following spells, requiring no material components and using charisma as the spellcasting ability. Spell save DC 13. At will, disguise self. Can appear as a large or medium biped, minor illusion, and once per day each, kiss, major image, and scrying. Bonus action leap. The lamia jumps up to 30 feet by spending 10 feet of movement. Next up, and vastly different from a lamia, is larvae. A very visceral image, shall we say. There is a lot of goo and slime connecting all the larvae. We have these claws underneath them. The various expressions are, again, very visceral. We have what looks like sort of terror and fear and despair. What might be something like anger over here. Like how you can see the different sort of types of people that the larvae originated from. We have some elf ears here, some rounded ears, some horns, and this desolate background behind. Larvae, fitting fates for depraved souls. Habitat, planar, lower planes. Souls condemned to the lower planes often become larvae, repulsive, maggot-like creatures with twisted features evocative of those they possessed in life. These pathetic creatures are nearly helpless and struggle to escape the attention of the more powerful inhabitants of the lower planes. Many fiends view larvae as delicacies to be consumed, while evil magic users find larvae useful for depraved rituals. Night hags frequently collect and herd larvae, trading them to nefarious parties across the multiverse. Larvae that survive on the lower planes long enough can eventually transform into other sorts of lesser fiends. Larva. Larvae have disjointed, painful memories of their past lives. Most desperately avoid other creatures. Larva, medium fiend, neutral evil. AC 9, HP 9, speed 20 feet, initiative -1. The scores here. Senses. stampedes heralded by a din of wordless whimpers and stomach-churning worm sounds. A very vivid image there. Swarm of larvae, large swarm of medium fiends, neutral evil. AC 13, HP 22, speed 30 feet, initiative +0. It scores here. Resistances, immunities, senses, languages, challenge rating, traits, swarm. The swarm can occupy another creature's space and vice versa, and the swarm can move through an opening large enough for a medium creature. The swarm can't regain hit points or gain temporary hit points. Actions: bite, melee attack roll +4, reach 5 feet, hit 9 necrotic damage, or 7 necrotic damage if the swarm is bloodied. Continuing here with a grotesque theme, we have the lemure. Again, pronouncing it how I pronounce it. I feel like it just looks too much like lemur as well. I'm so tempted every single time I see it. My brain just wants to go lemur. But yes, the very grotesque, off-putting imagery of the past few monsters. Very much oozing with these vague features seeming to actually add to the off-putting feel. I think without the face it wouldn't feel so horrifying. You can see them all swarming in the background. These facial features, almost like it's in pain or it's horrified itself. A lemure, devils of agony and despair. Habitat, planar, 9 hells. The least of all devils, lemures arise from wicked souls, their mortal memories scoured away. Only vague limbs and anguished features jut from these slurries of infernal proto-matter. Lemures torment weaker creatures, but in the 9 hells, few such beings exist. To avoid greater suffering, they obey the orders of more powerful devils. Lemure, medium fiend, devil, lawful evil. AC 9, HP 9, speed 20 feet, initiative -3. It scores here. Resistances, immunities, senses, languages, challenge rating, traits, hellish restoration. If the lemure dies in the 9 hells, it revives with all its hit points in 1d10 days unless it is killed by a creature under the effects of a bless spell, or its remains are sprinkled with holy water. Actions: Vile Slime, melee attack roll +2, reach 5 feet, hit 2 poison damage. Swarm of lemures. When devils drive hosts of lemures into close proximity, or when lemures compress into a single mass, a swarm forms and adopts a unified mind. Swarm of lemures. Large swarm of medium fiends, devil, lawful evil. AC 12, HP 45. AC 12, HP 45, speed 40 feet, initiative -2. It scores here. Resistances, immunities, senses, languages, challenge rating, traits, hellish restoration again here. Swarm. The swarm can occupy another creature's space, and vice versa, and the swarm can move through an opening large enough for a small creature. The swarm can't regain hit points or gain temporary hit points. Multi-attack. The swarm makes 2 vile slime attacks. Vile slime, melee attack roll, +4, reach 5 feet, hit 11 poison damage or 9 poison damage if the swarm is bloodied. Next up, and vastly different from the last few monsters, particularly power-wise, we have a lich. Pictured here, an ancient lich and her ghast gravecrawler attendants warp reality with forbidden magic. Very, very intimidating. You can see the power oozing through her and from her. I love the colours here, the deep purple in contrast to all this gorgeous gold detailing. This raven hair. And all of the touches of blue in the image and teal almost. Definitely a boss fight, this one. Lich, deathless master of magic. Habitat, any. Some nefarious magic users carry out forbidden necromantic rituals that sever their souls from their bodies to turn themselves into liches, masters of magic and undeath. With their souls preserved in hidden relics, liches puppet their own corpses as they pursue ambitions free from mortal bonds. Liches possess exceptional cunning and magical prowess, and they use their unnatural immortality to pursue arcane secrets few could grasp in a single life. Uncanny agendas lead them to plumb the secrets of life, the multiverse, godhood, and less fathomable topics. Careless of mortal lives or desires, liches go to any lengths to achieve their goal, closely resemble living creatures and are clad in contemporary garb. Many cloak themselves in illusions of their idealized mortal forms. Although lichers don't fear death, they're not free from the ravages of time. Over ages, some lichers lose their connection to time and the physical world, degenerating into demi-lichers. Lich spirit jars. The process of becoming a lich is involved, dangerous, and unique to each would-be lich. If the rite succeeds, the lich's soul is bound to a spirit jar, a specially prepared magical repository. This relic anchors the lich's spirit to the world and preserves it should the lich's body be destroyed. A lich can be slain only if its spirit jar is ruined. As such, a lich goes to great lengths to hide and protect its spirit jar. Spirit jars are typically small, well-made objects that were meaningful to a lich in real life. Roll on or choose a result from the lich spirit jar table to inspire where a lich hides its soul. Lich spirit jars. The lich's spirit jar is 1. A bottle or puzzle box inscribed with sigils. 2. A contract folded into a paper figure. 3. The first magic item the lich created. 4. A hollow figurine of a deity or monster. 5. An hourglass with its sands floating in stasis. 6. A locket or a signet ring with a noble crest. 7. A rune-etched egg. 8. The skull of the lich's mentor. A D8 for this one. 7. A rune-etched egg. Sounds rather pretty. Lich lairs. Liches create secluded libraries of magical lore and arcane laboratories hidden within extraplanar bastions, fortresses with cursed reputations, or other such deadly sanctuaries. The region containing a lich's lair is warped by its presence, creating the following effects. All-seeing. While in its lair, the lich can cast clairvoyance, requiring no spell components and using the same spellcasting ability as its spellcasting action. Inevitable siphon. Whenever a humanoid dies within 1 mile of the lair, its soul is immediately consumed by the lich. A humanoid whose soul is consumed in this way can be brought back to life only by a true resurrection or wish spell. If the lich is destroyed or moves its lair elsewhere, these effects end immediately. These effects resume if the lich gains a new body. See its undead restoration trait. Ambition can become an addiction of the mind and spirit. It builds beyond a driving flame into an furious inferno that burns a mage hollow until only the desire for more magical power remains. Rudolf van Richten's Guide to Liches. We've actually just encountered, not Van Richten himself, but in our Curse of Strahd game, we've just encountered Esmeralda, who, as mentioned, is in Barovia seeking her old mentor, Rudolf van Richten. So we are currently trying to find him. We have our suspicions as to who he might be, so no spoilers please, if you have played through Curse of Strahd. But yes, we have our suspicions and we're excited to see if we're correct. However, back to this immensely powerful monster. Lich, medium undead, wizard, neutral evil, AC 20, HP 315, speed 30 feet, and initiative plus 17. So already intimidating. Its scores here. Skills. Resistances. Immunities. Gear. Senses. Languages. All. I'm jealous. Challenge rating 21. Traits. Legendary resistance 4 per day or 5 per day in lair. Spirit jar. If destroyed, the lich reforms in 1d10 days if it has a spirit jar, reviving with all its hit points. The new body appears in an unoccupied space within the lich's lair. Actions. Multi-attack. Eldritch burst. Melee or ranged attack roll plus 12. Reach 5 feet or range 120 feet. Hit 31 force damage. Paralyzing touch. Melee attack roll plus 12. Reach 5 feet. Hit 15 cold damage. And the target has the paralyzed condition until the start of the lich's next turn. Spellcasting. At will. Detect magic. Detect thoughts. Dispel magic. Fireball level 5 version. Invisibility. Lightning bolt level 5 version. Mage hand. Prestidigitation. Twice per day each. Animate dead. Dimension door. Plane shift. Once per day each. Chain lightning. Finger of death. Power word kill. And scrying. Some very heavy hitting spells there. Reactions. Protective magic. The lich casts counterspell or shield in response to the spell's trigger, using the same spellcasting ability as spellcasting. Legendary actions. 3 or 4 in lair. Deathly teleport. The lich teleports up to 60 feet to an unoccupied space it can see, and each creature within 10 feet of the space it left takes 11 necrotic damage. Disrupt life. Constitution saving throw. DC 20. Each creature that isn't an undead in a 20-foot emanation originating from the lich. Failure. 31 necrotic turn. And frightening gaze, the lich casts fear using the same spellcasting ability as spellcasting. The lich can't take this action again until the start of its next turn. Very, very big boss there. The last of our L's today. So again, another shorter alphabet here, shorter letter. And vastly different to the lich and a number of the ones we've gone through today. Lizard folk. I really like the quite colourful artwork here. There's clearly a lot of green. Both the colour of the lizard folk's skin and scales, but also the magic of this one here. And of course all of the background, all of the nature. But we do have these lovely pops of colour in its clothing, in this band here for its bag, and even in here. We have some water and blue to just break up a lot of that green. Really cool designs. Lizard folk, reptilian defenders of the land. Habitat, forest, swamp. Lizard folk dwell in wildernesses suffused with primal magic, while many lizard folk are humanoids with varied skills. Some forge powerful bonds with the elemental plane of earth, granting them magical connections to the cycle of growth and rebirth. Lizard folk geomancer. Lizard folk geomancers draw magic from the natural world, using it to protect their people and territories. Lizard folk geomancer. Medium elemental, neutral. AC 13. HP 33. Speed 30 feet. Burrow 20 feet. And swim 30 feet. Initiative +0. Its scores here. Skills. Senses. Languages. Challenge rating. Actions. Multi-attack. Earth burst. Melee or ranged attack roll +4. Reach 5 feet. Or range 60 feet. Hit 9 bludgeoning damage. Hail of stone. Recharge 5 to 6. Constitution saving throw. DC 12. Each creature in a 20-foot radius, 40-foot high cylinder centered on a point the lizard folk can see within 60 feet. Failure. 15 bludgeoning damage, and the target has the prone condition. Success. Half damage. Spellcasting. The lizard folk casts one of the following spells, requiring no material components, and using wisdom as the spellcasting ability. Spell save DC 12. At will. Elementalism. Once per day each, meld into stone, speak with plants, and spike growth. Lizard folk sovereign. Lizard folk sovereigns undergo magical rites that imbue them with fantastic strength and magic from the elemental plane of earth. In some, though, it also unlocks a primal viciousness. Lizard folk sovereign. Medium elemental, neutral. AC 15, HP 78, Speed 30 feet, Burrow 20 feet, Swim 30 feet, Initiative +1. It scores here. Skills, immunities, senses, languages, challenge rating, actions, multi-attack, bite, melee attack roll +5, reach 5 feet, hit 8 piercing damage. If the target is a creature that isn't a construct or an undead, the lizard folk gains temporary hit points equal to the damage dealt. Earthen Maul, melee attack roll +5, reach 5 feet, hit 10 bludgeoning damage. If the target is a medium or smaller creature, it has the prone condition. And a bonus action, charge.